Greetings, YouTube. The conservatives in America really want to protect kids, but they want to seem to protect children from things that actually aren't dangerous to children. They want to protect them from books. Um, they want to protect them from drag queens. They want to protect them from learning about actual U.S. history. They want to protect them from knowing about their own bodies and having a science-based health class that'll help them understand all of the biological functions that they experience and how to have healthy sex lives, how to understand consent. And that consent isn't just about sex. Consent is about everything. Consent is about shaking hands. It's about touching people in non-sexual ways. It's about hugging. And you should have the right to say no to anybody. You don't have to shake hands with anybody. You don't have to hug anybody. You should not feel any obligation whatsoever. You should feel no obligation to engage in conversation with anyone, particularly with people who've hurt you. You should be under no obligation to respect anyone, particularly if they've hurt you. But the conservatives of America don't want to protect kids from the things that actually are dangerous to them. Homelessness, hunger, lack of health care, lack of education, a functioning infrastructure system. Those are things that kids need to be protected from. They need to be protected so that all of those things, they have those things. So that they never have to worry about wanting for any of them. They don't want to protect kids from predation by capitalism. They don't want to protect kids from predatory loans. They don't want to protect kids from, living in poverty or not having access to water. Making sure that everyone has access to healthy water, that should definitely be something we should all really, really want to protect. They don't want to protect kids from firearms. Firearms are the leading form of death in America for kids. They're the leading cause of death for kids in America. Firearms. We consider ourselves to be an industrialized nation, what we would have called in the past a first world nation. And kids die so often due to firearms that it's the leading cause of their death now. Think about that for a second. That's outstripped disease, a completely 100% preventable form of death, because we don't do background checks. We don't have, red flag laws. We don't have proper training laws and licensing. We don't have proper storage laws for firearms. We don't have the ability to keep military-grade weapons out of the hands of American citizens. We don't do any of those things. But we're desperate to keep them safe from drag queens? Now, I know recently there was a mass shooting. I know I could say that literally multiple times a day in America. But there was a mass shooting recently that involved a perpetrator that was trans. And trans people comprise 0.04% of mass shootings in America. 0.04. Whereas angry white men, it's well over 99%. But nobody wants to talk about them. Why aren't we preaching the dangers of angry white men? People are all up in arms that a trans person committed a crime, but we just kind of yawn when it's another angry white guy doing it. How come they're always, lone wolves and not part of some radicalized subculture, which is what they are? They're being radicalized by the Republicans. They're being radicalized by podcasters and streamers and Fox News, being convinced that, drag queens and trans people are the dangers in America when it's themselves that are the dangers of America. We're protecting kids from the wrong stuff. And it's all part of the whole white supremacist narrative. Keep the kids protected from the things that they're actually in danger from. Convince the people of America that there are stuff that they aren't at danger from, but will score political points. It's easy to go after drag queens and trans people. They're minority groups. They are the other. Middle-class American out there in the flyover states sees a drag queen and it's like looking at an alien for them. But it's just somebody that wants to get dressed up, be marvelous and fabulous and do their own thing. And that's nothing to be afraid of or ashamed of, and it shouldn't be, judged in any way, shape, or form. Yet we ignore the angry white dudes who are walking around the streets with AR-15 style firearms, literally walking down the street, strapped with body armor, with a pistol on their hip, sometimes more than one, with the black rifle strapped to their chest, looking all manly when they're terrified of everything. The least manly human beings you're ever going to meet. They are constantly and endlessly afraid. But we're not going to protect kids from those folks. We're going to go after the drag queens and the trans people. We're protecting kids from the wrong things. How about we protect kids from things that actually are a danger to kids? And leave everything else, just leave them alone.